Hello everyone, how are we doing? We have an awkward few minutes ahead of us as I just established that you can hear me, that I am visible, that people are here and nothing is going wrong. So I really appreciate in the comments below or above or wherever you're watching this, pop a little message. Let me know where you're watching this from in the world. Lets me know you can hear me, lets me know everything's working, and then we can talk about what we've all come here to discuss. Yes, we can talk about this beast, this absolute leviathan of a kit, of a set. Look how big this thing is. Just look at it. Look at it. Look how huge this thing is. The Legion FELLBLADE, which I keep calling the FELLGLAIVE. It is coming. The FELLGLAIVE will be along. Variations of this will inevitably be along. But this beast of a kit is what we'll be doing today. So the the worst part of the hobby for me is building. I really dislike building. So I figure, how can I make it better on myself? Well, I can share my misery. I can share my experience with you. So that's what I've done. Jumping on, we are going to be looking at how we build the FELLBLADE. Let me know where you're watching from in the world. This is what we're all here for. Ah, hello, Losby Hacks. Thank you so much for letting me know. Oi, oi. Yeah, there are people out there in the world listening. Great. So this is what we'll be discussing tonight. We'll be putting this thing together. You can see I've already started to make inroads on this. No real pro tips up until this point, because it is all rather basic. It is all rather... Let's talk about the kit to begin with. This kit is freaking amazing. Right, so Forge World kits in general, you know, that you have those big, large resin beasts out there. Now, what was the first resin kit you ever dealt with? What was that miniature that you just had to have? How do I get a bit lower? Yeah, what was that miniature you just had to have? Thunderhawk, Stormbird, Warlord Titan, that you loved for the aesthetic of it. I have more than one pieces of resin lying around here, but I never particularly enjoyed building them. I always had to mentally psych myself up for them because I know the amount of cleanup that needs to go into it. Soaking in warm water. Will the mold release agent come off? Will it not? There's all right the way through the process. There's an anxiety there. Because you're wondering, God, is this going to be the kit where I put a bit Tamiya tape on, I rip it away, and it's just going to bugger up my entire journey up until this point? Less so with plastic. This kit goes together like a dream. I can understand why people enjoy Lego now, because I've been putting this thing together, and everything just fits. It sits so nicely, like really crisp, sharp edges snapping against one another. I haven't got the exhaustion I did during Saturnine. That box set was a little bit of a chore to get through building wise, purely because it's nice the level of engineering that goes into it, and the miniatures are gorgeous, but fatigue sets in fast, especially when you're building 6 Saturnine Terminators one after another. Less so with this kit. I'm not sure whether it has something to do with pattern recognition, that I understand the side of the vehicle is the side. So when I pick up a sprue, bang, I understand that that's the top of the sprue. I don't need to worry about like trying to find that portion to stick to another portion of it. Pattern recognition is a big thing. I can glance at it. Oh, I understand where this roughly fits in relation to one another. It fitting together, that's a big thing, just effortlessly, just snapping together without any issues whatsoever. Cleanup's been very minimal on this thing so far. And it's been an utter joy, utter joy. Who else has picked one of these up today, by the way? Who else who is part of the FELLBLADE gang? FELLBLADE gang. Right, okay, let's have a look. My Forge World resin kit was a Relic Contemptor. Okay, perhaps 3 Saturnine Terminators to build. Yeah, don't envy you there. Okay, perhaps a fairer question to ask is, what's the worst Forge World kit that you ever put together? What was the kit that made you tear out your hair? That made you look up online on places like Reddit and you read the fateful words, put it in the oven for a few minutes? Which one? Okay, as we formulate as a community, let's go through the building stage of it. So I've come to this front bit, and I'm not sure whether to start undercoating these areas before I start building this. But I'm certainly not going to stop the feed before that. Portions I have left off so far, tracks, I mean, that's just like a given, right? That's such an obvious thing to do. And the smokestacks on the back. I have to say, the smokestacks, thankfully, have been slightly re-engineered. So instead of the, there you go, let's pop this in live. Let's put my own theory to the test. Okay. So I pop it in here. So the line goes on the side, not here, which is slightly less egregious, but it's still annoying to deal with. I haven't put any Tamiya quick type on them or any other kind of putty. What I have done, because I'm a lazy soul, I put some rather thick super glue on there, let it cured, file it over the top, and hopefully that should be sufficient to remove this very small joining gap. Okay, on the Kratos masterclass, I thought I was so clever. I thought I was the bee's knees because, do you know what I did with my Kratos? I wanted to get into like hardcore military modeling. I wanted to stake a claim. I wanted to be one of those guys like Night Shift, you know, that does like crazy stuff with a build. So I drilled out each one of these holes, and I declared rather proudly, look what I've done. I've drilled out the holes, not really realizing the smokestack does have a solid metal piece in between. So I had to go back, find a piece of plasticart that fit in there, much to the amusement of my small community. I'm not going to do it this time around. I'm not going to make an ass of myself over smokestacks. Thankfully, it is quite an easy thing to clean up on the side. Right, where else we go? Horus Ascended. Horus Ascended was the worst thing for you to do. Okay, tell me more. Tell me more, Loz. Why was Horus Ascended the worst one? Because I found that kit to go together pretty well, because it's all 3D designed, all 3D sculpted. I can't remember having much of an issue with it, but I mean, my experiences aren't reflected in the community. Let me know what yours. Storm Eagle, God, yeah, Storm Eagle is a very popular one for the very worst resin kit. I must have just got lucky with mine. Mine went together like a dream. I did buy it from Forge World, from the store that was up in Nottingham in Warhammer World. I realised not everyone has that privilege to do that, but I was able to look through the cast before I left with it. I just had a very good cast. It went together easy enough for me, but there's one kit that almost drove me to insanity, and I did 3 of them for a commission. Let's see what else. Fire Raptor gunship, yeah, another very... It's something about the resin and the plastic together that never quite worked out. I did a couple of the hybrid kits, and yeah, they were always horrible to stick together. Always horrible to stick together. Okay, never managed to make it, just threw it away in frustration. Oh my god. Okay. And for Horus Ascended, the cloak just wouldn't go on. Yeah, it feels like one of those things that you need to put the cloak on before you put the arms, but the instructions don't explicitly say that. So how are you meant to know? Yeah, and the dangly bits that you get underneath the shoulder pads of Horus Ascended, it's the same on Fulgrim as well. Those bits are just going to snap the instant you take them into any kind of game. Okay, right, let's have a look. Where's the next step for me? I've done all that. Coming up to these bits. What are these bits on a tank? Does anybody know? Like, what are these bits? Oh, actually, I got a question for the community. I wonder whether I could do a poll on this, because I'd love to know the answer to this. I'm doing a bit of research at the moment around our boy Abaddon, of course. How do I end stream? No, definitely don't end stream. Pop-out chat, reactions, timestamps. Okay. Start a Q&A. Okay. View. Okay. God. Okay. Start a poll. Okay. Do you know the color schemes of? So this is a bit of a head scratcher. The Venators. And I just got to make sure I get the right words. Okay. Right. Around the time of the Third Black Crusade, it's either the third or the fourth, Abaddon is quoted as destroying 2 loyalist legions. Loyalist chapters. The Venators and the Warhawks. Now, in my brief 5-minute research I've done there, I couldn't find any color schemes for either of them. So it'd be a big help in the community. Let's rub our brain cells together. If you do have any idea of what those colors were, please pop them in the chat, because I would love to know. Okay, this bit. What the hell is this bit? Right. Let's dig these out. Zoom out a little bit. Now, as I build this thing, another thing I'd really love to know as well. What are people's Halloween projects for this year? Because there's a bit of a running tradition on Little Legend, on the Patreon, that we paint a Conrad Kurz. For the past 4 years, I think I've managed to bag a commission for this, but this is the first year, since the Patreon began, where we aren't painting a Conrad Kurz for Halloween. I am painting a Night Lord, no need to worry. A Night Lord is incoming. Do I have him next to me? No. But I've come across a rather nice sculpt. It's made by Wilf from, well, perhaps I shouldn't have said that. It's made by an unknown, undeclared artist. Let's just call him Artist X, shall we? Driver X. Who has made a Conrad Kurz-like-esque sculpt. And it's freaking gorgeous. I've been playing around with it today. I'm looking at the print off camera. If there's enough interest in it, I'll show it off to you guys. But any Halloween projects we have lined up? Okay, pop this off to the side. Files. The only files I'd ever recommend. The only files. I'm using God Hand snippers. They're okay. Paid £35 for them because people keep banging on about these snippers. People love them. But they're good, yeah, sure. But for the price of like £35, I'm not really too sure it's worth the investment. Dare I say it? But I mean, they are nice. I know if they broke, I'd buy them again. So that has, that has some kind of merit. Files. Only ever use Tamiya files. This is all I ever use. Now, thankfully, a lot of the kits, the joins are like in hidden places, so I can very easily just ignore them. I don't have to do like a thorough cleanup job. I mean, the gate here, this needs a little bit more of a thorough cleanup. And here, knife, any old scalpel knife will do. Sharp ass knife. All right here. I'm curious as well. What do you guys do when this live stream's on? And keep the answers clean, please. What do you guys do when you watch me live stream? Is your entire attention devoted to me and what I'm doing on the screen? I wonder what I could get away with, because this is going to be a metal grill. Okay, so I'm going to pop this in. Yeah, is your entire attention devoted to me, or are you hobbying alongside me? Are you building your own? Are you building your own FELLBLADE alongside me? I wonder. This is an accident, by the way. I was test fitting. I had a little bit of super glue on there. I messed it up. This isn't like the pros approach. This isn't a trick or a secret. This is me just bundling through things. Okay, this fits in here and snaps in there. Okay, nice. I can put some super glue on. With builds like this, I don't bother using Tamiya, the thingy glue. I just use super glue for everything. Dries faster, it's more brittle. The glue. What the hell am I trying to say? The plastic glue. That's it. Just like using super glue. Loctite, I prefer. I don't understand the hype around Gorilla Glue. Loctite's be my friend. I've used Loctite. You know, if I can get a sponsorship with Loctite, I'm more than interested in Loctite. Okay, if your people are getting into contact with my people, which is just me, I will more than happily represent your brand. Okay, unplug. Look at that, easy to unplug. Good flow, great viscosity, glues anything to anything. When I accidentally cut my fingers when I'm in a session, Loctite's the only glue I use. I'm not sure this is a bit of an urban myth, but is super glue invented by the army to patch up wounds very quickly on the butt? Oh, do you hear that snap? Oh, that's this vehicle all over. Just the snap of it, the precision of everything fitting together effortlessly. Oh. No finer sounds in the galaxy than that snap. I've said that, that's not going on. Okay. Alright. Had to do this live on camera, didn't I? Getting super glue all over the place and it not fitting. What is preventing this from... Oh no, there we go. Fits perfectly. Great. Just slides right in. Beautiful. Just the way everything just kind of like snaps together so effortlessly. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, 7 people watching, nice. Watching me build a FELLBLADE. Resin was very brittle and warped. It broke the moment I heated the resin up. Painting more fists. Ooh, what kind of fists? Crimson fists? Imperial fists? What kind of fists are we painting? I'm building a Forge World Malcador furnace. Oh my god. I have sculpt missing bits. Okay, I guess I should return back to the talking point. The worst kit I've ever put together from Forge World was the Dreadnought drop pod. First iteration of that sculpt, the very first Dreadnought drop pod. That sculpt drove me to distraction. I hated that sculpt because after all the effort that you put into building it and putting it together, you just end up with a glorified piece of terrain. That's it. It was horrendous to deal with. And it was so whoa! That's a pro tip, just break apart the miniature. So I want to make sure the top bit fits flush. Flush, flash, flush. Okay, let's pop you in here. See this bit? It's not quite connecting. Why is that? I think it's a little tab here which is causing me some issues. So if the tab is causing you issues, cut and remove. Yeah, for me, I'll be painting this up as part of a weathering masterclass. No prizes for guessing the legion that best benefits a weathering masterclass. Yes, it will be painted up in glorious Death Guard colours. You know, I've espoused the virtues of this saying like it just goes together effortlessly, and then as soon as I come on live, I'm having issues. Ugh. This should have people screaming at the screen right now. What are you doing, you idiot? This is meant to be a pro masterclass build. Okay, I think that's the best we're gonna get. Okay, good. Perhaps there's something up with this. No, this fits on there. Great. Okay, perhaps the grill. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this grill off because I can paint this separately. I can just undercoat that black, dry brush it, oil it up. Okay, good. We have the body. Look at this. Look at this. Nice. Okay, what are your top modeling tips for approaching tanks? Apart from drinking peppermint tea. Okay, Imperial got some... Oh, Imperial Fist, characters on the block. Nice. Okay. Right, next thing I need to do. Something quite cathartic about just... Ah, okay. So 36, 37. Now, unfortunately, this will go over the tracks, so I might have to give these a miss. But let's have a look at them at the very least. 36, 37. Yeah, this is the back end of the vehicle. So I'm gonna, I mean, the tip of painting up the tracks beforehand it's a good tip, but it's quite hard to make sure that you build everything and then paint everything at the same time. Okay, let's have a little play around with this. Oh, which side did it go? It goes up like this. Oh, right, okay. So that slides in like this. Does it? I believe it does. Oh yeah, the tabs. Okay. So if I glued it in here, yeah, I can't glue this section in, but I'm going to pop it in as a placeholder for now, because I can always do this off camera. There we go. Pop that together. Righto. Okay, what's next? If you have any questions about the kit, feel free to send them along. What you like about it, what you don't like. But you know, let's have a look at my project for the month, shall we? Conrad Kurz. Nice sculpt, right? Slightly bigger than your, well, a lot bigger, a lot thicker than the normal Conrad Kurz. The claws are thankfully thicker, so they don't damage whenever you whisper at them. Do I have a miniature here for comparison? Yes, I do. Let's compare it. What's dropped on the floor? Oh, something's dropped on the floor. I don't know what it is. Oh. Something's dropped. It was definitely a heavy sound dropping the floor. And it's gone. The floor's claimed it. Fine. Fine floor. Keep your secrets. Okay, so this is the comparison between Conrad Kurz and the normal Marine. He is freaking huge, much more in scale with like the new scale Horus Heresy. Wolfie does fine work. Need a cloak for him. Weirdly, Gilliman's cloak works really well, but I do have that earmarked for another project. But this is the Halloween project. I've also been messing around with a couple of Berserkers as well for the Black Legion project. Over the past couple of days, I've been spamming Instagram and social media with my Black Legion project, and I very recently finished off a Noise Marine? Yeah, Noise Marine mini warband. And I've got the hankering to create some Berserkers for them. Now, I've done the initial test piece. I've started painting it. But today I had a few extra minutes. I could just spend messing around with true scaling my Khorne Berserkers. So the Siege of Vrak's heads, the legs are from the Red Butchers, Siege of Vrak's detailing, then the regular Khorne Berserker set. And I got these chests from somewhere online, and I simply thickened it up to match the girth of the rest of the Khorne Berserker. What is Khorne's number? 8? Something like that. Yeah, I gotta do 8 of them at the very least. That is really concerning me why that's not fitting flush in here. Perhaps I have to nail another tab. just when things don't fit together, that's a worry. Let me just clip this tab off before we continue, because otherwise that's going to bother me during the entire live stream. I've got a couple of hours before my next teaching appointment, so I thought, why not jump on, share this wonderful miniature with the world, and celebrate FELLBLADE Day. FELLBLADE, FELLBLADE, FELLBLADE! Well, adding a FELLBLADE to their army. I hear this edition is very heavily focused on shooting. People are scrambling to get... Oh, there we go. That fits. There you go. So I've removed the tab up there, and that seems to have solved all... Oh, the tab up here. And that solved all of my issues. Very shooting heavy meta. Very tank heavy meta. Oh, so I hear whispered through the grapevine. What's been your experience of Heresy 3.0 in this edition? Are you tooling up with tanks? Or are you going against the meta? Maybe flooding the field or something a little bit more interesting, bunch of infantry or something. Okay. Get a feeling I have to hold this for a long time. Okay, these things on the back, I can... Oh, oil drums. My favorite, oil drums. Can't wait. Can't wait for oil drums. Let's do oil drums. Feel like, so Hack says, I feel like GW doesn't test plastic kits before selling them. I think this is a me issue, not a Games Workshop issue. It super glued a little bit on the back before I was able to put this in. Everything else so far has just synced up beautifully so far. It's been an absolute joy up until that point to do it. I think that's very much a me thing rather than anything else. Okay, now I wish I had activator, because activator looks a lot more professional than me just dipping my finger into water and just blasting over the top. So why did I just do that? It's an old modeler's trick. It's a way to make the glue activate quicker. So you put a little bit of water on there, it dries quicker but more brittle, and it kind of goes like a little bit gloopy as well. So I'll chuck some more super glue on there. Probably the worst thing you could do. But this is a masterclass after all, or a disaster class, I should probably call it. Okay, I'm gonna wait here a couple of minutes. I'm gonna read your comments. I'm gonna talk with you guys a little bit more. I'm gonna talk to you. I've built 3. You've built 3 FELLBLADEs so far, and it's just come out today. Some parts just don't work. Oh, you're talking about the Malcador. Curious about that. Even the water's not working. Oh my god. Perhaps it is a kit thing. Perhaps it isn't me. Perhaps it isn't me. Perhaps it is the kit's fault. Perhaps it is Games Workshop's fault. So I'm barreling forward with 20 Catchland Reavers. Oh, I do have a dilemma actually. I'm barreling forward with 20 Catchland Reavers at the moment to support my Justarian force. But because this is such a tank heavy meta and a shooting heavy meta, it's left me woefully short in that area. But I don't want to resort to the usual thing. I don't want to... I have a Kratos. It's painted, but it's all Volkite. I'm not particularly interested in going back and buying the melter gun for it. What else is good against? Vindicators are here, very good in this edition. I don't particularly want to paint up 3 Vindicators either. I want to do something more interesting than that. You know, I want to do... I already have a bunch of Terminators. I've got all the characters. I'm painting up a couple of Dreadclaws, a Charybdis, a Fire Raptor, the one with the transport capacity. And I need something anti-tank. What should I get? The most interesting suggestion I will try and implement. But I'm thinking just as a good modeling opportunity for myself, Knight. There must be something in the Knight Codex, something in the Knight rules that makes them good at popping vehicles, right? Like a dual melter, surely that's good at killing killing vehicles, right? What's been your experience in this meta? Killing stuff off. I need something that runs alongside my themed list, which is very alpha strikey. So it needs to be fast moving. I can't have rapiers because they just like sit there. It doesn't marry up with what I have in my head, having artillery in place. I need something fast moving, swift, in theme with a first company Sons of Horus list. What if I just take Horus and throw him at vehicles? Would that work with World Breaker? I mean, if you could break a world, you could break a Spartan, surely. So we have a couple of suggestions rolling in. Spartan or rapiers? Spartans. So the Spartan, should I take the laser? The laser destroyers look great in this, by the way. I'm not sure whether you guys have seen them yet, but I think this is. I'm not sure whether there was a model kit for the laser destroyer before. It's this. So let's have a look at the actual miniature. I'm not even sure if this has been redesigned as well, like this sprue. Does this? I'm sure this is a new sprue. So we have the laser destroyer on here. Is there an option for just a las cannon on here? I don't think there is. Could be wrong. Oh no, there are. Oh, okay, so yes, this is a new sprue. Okay, it's a separate sprue. Because in edition 1, I used to run a Spartan with laser destroyers. It was useless. It couldn't move anywhere. But I liked the anti-tank ability in my Blood Angel list. So I'm guessing they are good. And the Spartan's pretty fast-moving. What can I chuck in there? It feels impolite to have a transport capacity and not put anything in there. Or maybe I could use it as a red herring. That, yep, there's a Spartan. Maybe I just chuck 20 mooks in there to surprise people. Yeah, this is the new. I do really like the heavy destroyer, the laser destroyer. Would anyone take the heavy bolters? Is there any benefit for taking heavy bolters as the side sponsors of this vehicle? It feels really underwhelming to do that. It feels like as a modeler and for myself. 10-man squad of las cannons, everyone will love you. Oh, I couldn't think of anything worse to do than spend my time and expend my efforts on painting 10 las cannons. Oh, no. In a rhino. I could rhino rush them, that would be interesting. I'm glad that Rhino Rush is back. I was listening to a video on meta armies through the editions. And it just took me back to all those old memories. I need to. This just is not sticking together. I've been singing this kit's praises till it actually comes push to shove. Do I think big enough to secure this? I think I do. I got one of these little bad boys. Let's see whether this does the trick. No, failed. Absolute failure. Okay, let's get up something chunkier, shall we? Let's break out the big guns now. I hope I can find the damn things. Oh, it should be in here. I realise you can't see where in here is. Off camera, searching round. Yeah. That sound you can hear, that girthy, guttural growl. Yes. Yes, my friends. Let's do this. I swear, it's like you're watching Night Shift. Okay, there we go. Okay. There you go. I'm going to plow this with a bunch of glue. So that's the only answer, right? I'm just going to bash a little glue. I haven't got any bicarbonate soda to help secure it even more, but I'm just going to blast this in. Yes, there we go. Look at that. Thing of beauty. Let's build some oil tankers, shall we? Or water dispensers, or whatever the hell sits on the back of the vehicle. Okay, oh, where are you? Where are you, oil dispensers? These things, what the hell are these things? Are they oil drums? They can't be oil drums, because if they get hit, they're going to blow up. That doesn't make any sense. Nothing in this universe makes sense. Perhaps it is full of very highly flammable oil. Fuel, maybe? For extended operations? That seems to make sense in my mind. Let's go with that. Heavy bolter array minces tacticals. Oh, right. Okay. Perhaps I should get in contact with a client to find out whether he does. Client, if you're watching, you know who you are, Death God. Do you want heavy bolters, or do you want the laser cannon, the laser destroyer array on the side of the vehicle? You could leave it to the community. You could leave it to the watchers. Put in the comments what you would prefer as a community. Yeah, what would you prefer? Let's put this up for debate, shall we? Let's put this up for vote. What do you want to see on the vehicle? God, please choose right. Okay, so 41, 39. Okay, 41. Okay, we got 39. Where's 41? 41, haha, got it. Okay, when is my next teaching appointment actually? Don't be running late for oh, 8:30. We got tons of time, guys. Settle in. We have got tons and tons of time. 39. Okay, make sure I don't clip off anything I'm not supposed to. Right, this fits together like so. Do we have any tank aficionados in here? Because this has always been something I've struggled with tank modeling, because I don't understand what all of these things are, like the fuel injection lines, what areas should be bumpy, which things shouldn't be bumpy. Where would an Astartes vehicle have sort of like tarpaulin on it, or water cans on the side? Would it have, what exactly would it have on it? Because I would like to add these extra little details like handrails and stuff like that, but I'm not sure where to place them, why they would be there, or even if it's technically accurate to do such a thing. I'm guessing you do this twice. Yeah, so 41, 39. And whenever I read a book about tank modeling, military scale modeling, it never seems to like fully answer the question either, because it's an Astartes vehicle. I mean, Forge World came very close, but even in their Land Raider tutorial, they didn't add extra things to it like they did like the Malkador, like you see the books behind you, like the Malkador Furnace or any of the Imperial Guard vehicles. It felt like there was a lot more cross-compatibility between the military scale modeling world, which, a lot of the a lot of the Forge World sculptors were treadheads, right? They wanted to redesign World War II vehicles for the 31st millennium. So there was a very direct correlation between the kind of tanks. I mean, if you had to say, why are you falling off constantly? You're nowhere near the edge, microphone. You're nowhere near the edge. There's nothing pushing you. There's nothing pulling you. There's no reason for you to fall off. So if you can think of a real life equivalent, tank equivalent for the FELLBLADE, what would it be? What would it be? There are enough parts to build 2 sponson weapon options. You could do both. Yeah, I'm going to charge double. I'm going to charge them for both. You can build all 3 and magnetize. Yeah, okay. I'll get in contact with the client about that. I don't generally like magnetizing. I feel like you should just make the decision. You should just make the decision between the two. My Blood Angels, for example, like I've magnetized so much in the army. Most of it I lost. I remember I've magnetized the arms of my Terminators, like the hands, so they can have combi weapons, plasma, just normal storm bolters, Volkite. I've lost most of it. Should have just committed. Just commit to one. And see it through. My Kratos, I committed. I committed with my Kratos. I chose all Volkite for it. I never used the bloody thing because it doesn't do anything in games, but I committed, goddammit. I made the decision. Okay. take a nice sanding board, 6,000 grit. I think that's a little bit too. 600. This seems like a nice grit. Smooth things out. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of magnetization. Understand its merits. Yeah, I've even done it myself on the dread claws, because dread claws are a pig to transport. So, well, Moggy, he magnetized because I hate it so much I sent it off. I paid somebody else to do my own building, so sent off to him. He's done a wonderful job magnetizing the supports, so I don't have to. Okay, that goes together like so. Right, let's glue this bad boy in. Hopefully it just all fits. Yep, that fits nicely. Okay. Gotta concentrate on this. Silence for a couple of seconds. Ooh. Okay, that doesn't fit. Okay, that's a nice piece of engineering. That's nice to make sure that you don't mess things up. Manly clamp for manly jobs. Yeah, as you can see, I'm positively pulsing with machismo. You can put anti-slip paste on the top of the chassis. Ah, this is the kind of stuff I need. Yes, this is the kind of stuff. Anti-slip paste on the top of the chassis. Okay, so like on here, on this bit, or would it be, could it go on this bit as well, like the more rounded piece? Because I've picked up some of this stuff, Tamiya putty, to give a more bumpy appearance to the hull. From what I understand, that the hull you want slightly bumpy, so when bullets hit it, they ricochet off and they don't embed themselves. The next job will be analysing the plates of the vehicle and decide which of those plates do I want to make look slightly heavier by giving them that sort of like paste on top. So what I'm thinking is, let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, do I want to just do like a almost like a carpet bomb effect over the top and just do everything? But I'm thinking this in the Tamiya putty, this in the Tamiya putty, maybe this section, and leaving this piece and this piece alone. And then for the front of it, do the front, all of it? Should I do all of it with the Tamiya paste? Maybe. The top and the turret as well. Should I do this in the paste? Should I do this with the paste? I'm really not sure. I'm not sure at the moment. But I'm canvassing for ideas. So if you do have suggestions, I am all ears. Because I am all confusion and lust right now. Right, what am I looking for? I'm looking for that sprue I just had in my hand. 40 I'm looking for. Yeah, we got 40. We got it. We got it, guys. No dramas. We got number 40. Oh, I'm going to decide these are fuel drums. I'm going to decide on longer operations. They've stuck fuel on the back. This is Talon. They can zip around longer extended periods of time where they're in the field and they need these. Okay, let's glue this on here. Oh, look how like it just fits on. Okay, 38. I'm missing one. Okay. Good job I read the instructions. 38. Because that would have been disastrous if I glued those on. It would have been a new turret situation. Okay. Let's clip these off. going full night shift, trying to. I did enjoy the process he used to build the vehicle. I mean, whenever I build a vehicle, it's most often on commission. So this is a commission, and you know, as a commissioner's mindset, you need to think, I need to do this fairly quickly. You know, speed is a consideration. It's not the primary consideration, but it is a consideration. And most of the time, I try and get stuff built as quickly as I can, to paint it as quickly as I can. Good turnaround. Client's happy. I'm happy. Everyone's happy. Bish bash bosh. But after watching night shifts, it did bring home to me just how much time and effort goes in before a paintbrush even hits the surface of the miniature. And that's something I do hope to practice in this. So I've painted up a Black Legion Rhino very recently to refamiliarize myself with the processes needed for good, effective weathering. I'm very rusty. Very rusty on it. I feel like it's my first draft. You know, I've given myself a refreshing course on how to weather vehicles. So this is going to be a really nice challenge. I want to try and approach this in a very serious, demanding manner. The same way I'm producing masterclass like the Kratos, which I think was the last like serious vehicle I painted, and that was 2 years ago, I think. I painted vehicles since, but that series was a very demanding tutorial series. You know, accompanied by PDF as well. It's I think it really earns the title masterclass in our lineup. But yes, the level of seriousness he approached a subject with, that was inspiring. The way he talked about like the welding seam lines along the side. Some of the techniques I feel like I could change. Some of the techniques I feel like I would ignore altogether. I mean, that's the great thing about watching these tutorials, right? It's not a Bible. It's not like the word of God given down to you. Dare I say, you could disagree with some of the stuff in there. You can say, like, I enjoy this. I could take this into my work. I can use that. I can embellish. I can finesse. I can do other things. You take from, and I think that's what I encourage from my tutorials. I'm not particularly interested in producing a bunch of clones. I want you to understand what I'm doing, ultimately disagree with some of the stuff I'm doing, and going on and building it into your own work. Okay. Oh, should I do them with hazard striping? Maybe hazard striping is in their future. Okay, I'm gonna look up and look at the comments section, see what we got. Right, rails wouldn't be useful because the turret is rounded. Okay, yeah, that's a fair point. You can jerry cans, bags, and stuff like that at the back. Would the Space Marine use a jerry can? Oh God, okay. We got a decision to make here. It's a twin heavy bolter or twin heavy flamer. Now, thankfully, I know we're going to say magnetize it. That's not the answer to every life's problems. It's not the answer to any question. Oh, it's just me you've been watching so far. I'm awfully sorry about that. There we go. I'm awfully sorry about that. All the interesting stuff I've been doing here, you've just been watching my fat, ugly face. I'm sorry. Have we gone up in viewership or down? 9. Okay, that's good. We've kept it. We've got a decision to make here. Heavy flamers or heavy bolters? Either way, I need 49. Okay. 49, 50, 51, 52. Okay. Can we remember that? 49 through to 52. I think rather reliably they're all on here. So we have 51. 51, 52. Ooh, we got the heavy flame. I do like the idea of heavy flamers on here rather than the heavy bolter, just for the aesthetics of it. I like the idea as well. Anybody trying to like scramble up the hull, it's just this jet of flame hitting them. It's a space marine, so it wouldn't do anything. Maybe burn a few purity seals off if you're a word bearer. Melt a few rubberized seals on the armor. Okay, and 49. Ooh. Okay, pro tip. Undercoat these before you glue them in. I'm preaching to the choir here. Pro tip, there's been nothing professional about this stream whatsoever. Right. Oh, that's a rather nasty burr. Especially on like an Adit. Why didn't they put it on the back when nobody gives a rat's ass about it? Let's buff this out. Buff this out together. Textures from the casting process. Okay, so Hacks, the casting process, is that intentional to make it that bumpy? To make sure like bullets ricochet off it, or is it just like a labor saving cut? Like they don't need to make it perfectly smooth or flat, so they just don't. And where do you learn your military scale modeling techniques, your stuff? Because everything I know has come through one course I attended on heavy weathering, and the Imperial Armor books behind me. Like the MiG stuff, yep, I enjoy, but I do feel like I get lost in the reads with a lot of that stuff. For whatever reason, it just doesn't hold my attention. I don't know whether it's layout or subject matter. It's probably subject matter, because I don't really care about Tigers or like World War II tanks. I just can't summon the energy. Oh, perhaps I shouldn't be saying this. What's our viewership count? 10! We've gone up with the criticism. I don't give a shit about World War II tanks. Oh, have we lost anyone? We've lost someone. There we go. Gone. No, it's just something that doesn't like interest me a great deal. Perhaps it's something to do with the photographs, because they're all black and white and I can't find like color references for them. Perhaps I just haven't researched the subject enough. Okay, pro tip, yeah, undercoat everything in here. Don't. I'm not going to glue this on yet. A couple of nasty burrs on the front. Let's get rid of those using 600 grit. Oh, nice. You know, I can even get away with just undercoating that later on. Where does this go? This goes here. Yep. Yeah, the amount of people I see do this with OSL drives me crazy. So this is meant to be glass, right? This is a viewing port. Some poor mook to stick their eyes on, see what's happening outside in the very limited range of view a driver would have, or a gunner would have, whoever the hell sits under here. That fits so nicely on here. That's lovely. Okay, yeah, but I'm not going to glue this on right now because well, one, I need confirmation over what weaponry needs to be in there. Oh, I bet the commissioner will say, I bet the guy paying me will say, magnetize them. Fucker. Okay, there we go. Another portion of the build done. Oh, we come on to a really cool bit next. This bad boy. Can you hear that? Bit of ASMR for you. Hacks, no. Casting is quick. Casting is quick, but causes the steel to have texture. Right. Okay. So, where did I hear that from? Where did I see that? I'm sure it's from a military scale modeling magazine or like a video. Is that utter bullshit then? Have I been living my life as a lie? That erroneous piece of information, Germany. I'm sure I've passed that on as well. I'm sure I've repeated that fact. I repeated that as fact to other people. And I am in a place of trust as well. Like I've reported erroneous information. I heard some TikTok influencer say probably. Should I be knocking these off? 55. Yeah, 55, 55, 50. Okay, so the 55s go on the back. I think that goes there. 54, where's 54? 54 goes here. I think it goes there. Yeah, looks like it goes there. Or it was 55. 55 goes at the back again. There's another, it's a 53 next time. Ooh. Why are you 53? 53, yeah, okay. At least we got all the parts right. Any odd burrs on here? Nah, it looks fine. Okay, let's pop these. So I know which ones correlate to what. Let's make sure there's no burrs. That's going to interrupt because I assume the next stage, is lowering this. Oh, this is going to be a good stage. This is going to be the dopamine hit this live stream needs. We're down to 7. We're down to 7 viewers with 3 likes. We're on the ropes. I think the most watches we've had concurrently are like 27. I think we broke a 30 once for like a minute. 1 minute. We had 30. It was a glorious minute. We had 30 minutes. 30 concurrent viewers. Okay. Right, has this done the trick? Let's do the grand reveal. Oh yeah, look at that. Yes. Does it look straight? Looks fairly straight. Let's put this on. I won't bloody sit on here now. Oh, a couple of burrs on here. Need to get rid of. I do not want anything interrupting this fitting on here. Right, okay, I think it's good. Oh, this goes on. This, ooh, where does this go? Moment of truth. Oh, that's nice. Oh, is that right? I think that there's a big piece missing there. I think everything else fits. Oh, it feels real now. Should I paint the interior before I go forward? I'm glad there's no interior to this. It's OTT putting the interior on a Rhino. Who the hell paints the... again, I'm going to the wrong crowd here, but who the hell paints the interior of their Rhinos? I can understand the Thunderhawk. I can understand the Reaver Titan. Am I doing this the right way? Yeah, let's say yes. But this? Nah. Tanks? Nah, just glue shut. Unless you're going to do something awesome like LED, because you put all the effort into painting the inside of your Rhino. You can't even see the damn thing once it's done unless you shine a torch in there. Right, okay, let's do this. Let's lower this down. It feels like we need music for this. Big deep breath in. Try not to get super glue everywhere. Oh god, that's flush. Oh, that's so fucking flush. Oh, okay. Be really useful to put the Tamiya stuff up here to cover up this join. Otherwise, it's a case of milliput. Milliput to the rescue. Hacks, help me out here. Would there be Tamiya, like the texture paste up here to cover this join? Please say yes, and please give me a reason why. Because that would make my life so much easier. Let's have a look what Hacks has got to say. Night Shift and Race for Terror are good channels. Yeah, Race for Terror is a great channel. Yeah, Tamiya, I've got this stuff, the Tamiya Basic Putty. I'm going to give this a whirl. Basic type, it's been recommended to me. You say you mix this with super glue. Do you mix this with super glue? I'm just going to whack it on and see what happens. So I hear you put like a fine paste over the top. You kind of file over the top of it very lightly. It creates that nice texture. So I'm going to give that a go. All requires slight amount of sanding. Perfect. Okay, you'll have to apply texture to the entire model. even these bits, like the in-between. Oh, what about the smokestacks on the back? I'm going down a path I'm not sure I want to go down. I mean, we're going to do it. We are going to do it because it is fun doing it at least once. And the client will be super happy as well. Oh, I really want to pick one of these up for myself. So my kid really enjoys Lego. Really, really. Oh, just look how... Oh, that just slipped on there effortlessly. Let's see where we can capture this next one on camera. How close can I get it? Okay. Make sure there are no odd burrs. Okay, this should just... Don't drop it. Slip on. Oh! Oh, God, look how flush that is. Whew. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try at least once going like full-on military scale modeling on it. Why not? Why on earth not? What's the worst that could happen? Yeah, definitely want to pick one of these up for my Sons of Horus as well. I wonder whether I could get away with painting the first company colours. Using the Black Legion then. Oh God, that was so satisfying to do. Look at it. Look how symmetrical it is. Look how gorgeous it is. Look how everything just like fits flush. Didn't need to chuck anything into an oven or heat it up or use a hairdryer on it. Or I mean, I haven't even washed. You should wash the plastic at the very least because the mold release agent. I haven't even done that yet. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, what goes on? Oh, this goes on as well. Should I have done this at the same time? Oh, look at me. Look at this. Look, I messed up here. I should have put this on first. But because of the kit, how good it is. Oh, famous last words. Yeah, see, this is very much a me problem here. Like, I can't fat it down. I can't fit it down. Is it meant to... No, there's quite a big gap there. See the gap there with the teeth? I think it's meant to fit over the top. Let me have a look, see. Ah! Yeah, I think we can save this. Again, like the reason why this isn't fitting is purely down to me and my cack-handed ineptitude and headlong rush. Oh, on it goes. Oh yes, that snap, that snapping sound. What more could you want? Yeah, there we go, perfect. So the kit, thankfully, covers up my ineptitude. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that fits. And then this will go in here later on. Oh, yeah. We'll leave it off for now. I can spray that with a bunch of Tamiya later. Okay, this is going to be covered up with a track, so I don't need to worry about that. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Speaking about tracks, if I cover... Oh, shit. I've just covered up a bunch of stuff I shouldn't have. The tracks need to go in here. Okay, let's lift this up if I can. Oh, I had to do this on live stream, didn't I? I had to be like, oh yeah, look at me on the live stream. I'm so good. I'm great at painting stuff. Look at me. I'm an expert. I tell people I'm an expert. I'm a liar. That's what I am. I think I can fit the tracks in there still. Right, let's just give like a little bit of a test. Make sure I can completely balls this up. How not to build a FELLBLADE. Which track do I need to put in there? 13. 13 needs to get jammed right up in there. 13. 13, 13, 13. Okay, yeah, it's going to be fine. I can just lift it up ever so lightly. Pop it in. so. There we go. No harm, no foul. Ha ha ha. I meant to do all that. I meant to do that, damn it. Yeah. Okay, what have we got here? Johan, yo, what's up, Johan? How we doing? Right, is this where all the cool people hang out on the Saturday evening? Yeah, you can say that. Everything except exhaust and gun barrel. Check your Discord messages. No, post it in here. People need to know. Let's check it Discord. Let's do it live. Discord. Hacks. I didn't sand. Okay, this is the model, has the ammo anti-slip paste. Okay, I'm gonna show this off live on camera. How do I do this? Media source. Oh, do I have your permission? I'm gonna assume consent. Okay, hacks. Properties. Browse. Oh no, let's. How do I? No, not local. How do I do this? Add. OS screen capture. Yeah. Is it gonna? Well, no, I don't want to do my entire screen. I have secrets to hide. Discord, where are you? Application. Discord. Discord, there we go. Okay. Hacks. There we go. Hacks is typing. There we go. So this is Hacks' work. Discord. There you go. So this is beautiful tank he painted. So this is it with the Tamiya paste on it that wasn't sanded down. It gives a really nice patina to a really nice texture to it. Yeah, that is beautiful. That is gorgeous. Right, where is... Let's do the other. Look at that texture. I'm into that texture. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, really. Hacks, do you want to talk a little bit about this? I know you can't talk here, but I can certainly relay your messages. And I believe you're Australian. I'll even try to do an Australian accent if you like. How about that? Perhaps you can have the that could be our first super chat on the channel. You know, let's get rid of this. How do I get remove? Bang. There. Yes, I want to remove screen capture. There we go. So we got hacks. Ammo anti-slip. Oh right. Okay. Ammo anti-slip. Right. Okay, that's good to know. Yep. This. Okay. Just making sure this still lifts up. Whoa. That little wiggle. That saved me. That has saved my ass. That little wiggle there. So that will slip on top here. I can't glue it at the moment. Can't glue that because I need to do that. This will be popped up in here. Thankfully, still goes up. I can spray that. It'll go in. Right, what else can I bugger up on this journey? What else can I break or ruin? Or just get flat out wrong? Okay, I think I could build this thing. I can't attach, perhaps I can attach it in straight away. Oh, and the gun, yeah, we can do the gun as well. Let's do this, let's do this. Ammo anti-slip, okay, it's top tip. Ammo anti-slip. Right, okay. We'll do the Demolisher Cannon, and we're gonna wrap it up then. Demolisher Cannon is the last thing we'll be absolutely blundering our way through on this live stream. Oh, God. Okay. Right. What have we got? This is a really nice sprue. This is a hopeful sprue. Okay, cut this. So if you have any questions, it doesn't have to be about this. It could be about anything in the hobby. It could be about your gout. It could be about your sciatica. I will offer you medical advice. Yes, I will. Right, F2, F1. F2, F1, F2, F1. I will offer you vaccination advice. Yep, I will do that. I'm very well versed and very well researched on the subject. I've watched Joe Rogan. Yep, that's pretty much it. But you know, they're long podcasts. Okay, F1. Ooh, I also want to show off a little find that I made in the hobby shop today. I wasn't even sure this book existed, but I came across the art of, what was it, the first founding. Do the Demolisher first, and I'll show off this book. I haven't opened it yet. I've saved it for you wonderful people and all of our, I'm going to guess, 7 viewers. 7 viewers, yes! Right, 4, F1, F2, F3. Ah! Big barrel. I'm a sucker for art books. And first founding, I've been doing a bit, they may or may not be an Abaddon-esque like miniature coming at Christmas, maybe. And it may or may not have a Space Marine helmet on it. I thought, wouldn't it be cool if this helmet, instead of being painted as a Blood Angel, you know, representing McCann, or Black Templar, wouldn't it be cool if it was like a different chapter, like I don't know, like a Praetors of Orpheus, for example. I was doing a bit of reading in between listening to Joe Rogan podcasts, and the like. I came across the third Black Crusade, and they wiped out in that crusade 2 Space Marine chapters, the Venators and the Doom Eagles. I don't know what's called, like, something like that. But I can't find any visual information on them whatsoever. So as soon as I find out anything concrete about them, I'm going to whack up. Yeah, look out around Christmas time. It's like Christmas Day in particular. That's gonna be a really good day. Okay. Ammo anti-slippers thing. Johan, what are you up to? More Trench Crusade? So Johan's a long-time student. We're painting our way through the Trench Crusade stuff at the moment. He's doing an Anchorite Shrine. In fact, guys, if you're part of the Discord and you want to show off your work now, shoot me through some pictures. I'd love to talk through your work. Hell, if you want some feedback on your work, I got a little bit of time. Not too much, but I got a little bit of time. If you want some feedback on your work, you could do that. Message me via Discord. Pop in the comments below that you have messaged me via Discord, and we could do a little impromptu workshop. Why not? Okay, am I doing this correctly? I'm just doing by what I feel now. Oh, and that's led to disaster so far. Okay, let's glue this on here. Yep, that seems to work so far. Okay, no disasters. Connected. Let's pop this on here. Oh, look at that. Stubby. This goes in here. I'm not going to glue that in because I can paint this a separate color. Let's do a little bit of a dry fit. I think I could just glue this in straight away. Yeah, there's no reason why I can't. I'm just going to glue this bad boy straight in. I'm just going to mash this in. Okay. A little bit of overspill. I'm going to texturize that anyway with ammo anti-slip. And that goes in like that. I think yeah, blast shield goes over the top of it later on. There we go. I think I've put you through enough for one evening, watching me blundering through that. Should we open the book? I can't mess this up, surely. Surely I can't mess this up. Okay, in the background, we have First Founding. Oh. Now, a student says I make old man noises when I get up and sit down. I can't unhear that sentence. Right, okay, so this is First Founding. It's a book I came across in the Gamers Emporium. It's my local FLGS. And I'm a sucker for these kind of things. First Founding, okay, the blurb. Following the age of strife, with humanity teetering on the edge, on the brink of annihilation, the Emperor of Mankind unleashed a weapon of unimaginable power, his Space Marines. These mighty warriors, forged in the furnace of war, were marshaled together into the 20 legions known as the First Founding. In the era Indomitus, 9 of the warrior brotherhoods remain true. Once legion, now chapter. They stand defiant as mankind's bulwark against the heretic, the Xenos, and the demon. Only one thing is certain: as the enemies of the Imperium ascend and the Citrix Maledictum tears reality in two, these brave Adeptus Astartes are needed now more than ever. This art background book explores these iconic loyalist First Founding chapters in depth, with their distinct identities, cultures, and ways of war brought to life over 30 specially commissioned illustrations, including 9 phenomenally double-page artworks. Okay. Right, it's written by Guy Haley, John French, Nick Kime, David Geimer, and Callum Davis. Okay, sounds intriguing, right? Good presentation. I know, Primaris, I know. We won't get into that, the whys and the wherefore. I'm not for Primaris. I think the Space Wolf range has been reinvigorated by the movement away from this particular aesthetic. There's nothing wrong with Space Marines to begin with. You don't need a slightly stronger, faster, bigger Space Marine, because they're already the biggest, the strongest, the most dominant in the galaxy. But let's talk about finer things. Let's have a look what's inside here, shall we? Okay. I don't want to get super glue on this thing. It's a lovely presentation to it. Like, it's a matte finish, got this like metallic sheen. First Founding. Wow, they used that graphic a lot. Okay, so it's by Guy Haley. Okay, so we have nice piece of artwork. Gilliman doing this thing against the Plague Marines. Not so enamored by that type of like hyper digital art. I hope. Oh, okay, 20 legions, very nicely laid out. I'm guessing this book is like a reference for newer people into the hobby, maybe. Something you can sell like Waterstones. Ah, there we go. That's what I'm here for. So I looked up a little review of this online just to see what kind of art again here. I saw this. I'm like, yeah, I'm buying it just for this piece of art alone. Zoom out just a little bit more. Yeah, I bought this just for this piece, really. Oh, is there? Oh, something on screen that shouldn't be. Sorry. Let's cover it up. Yeah, gotta be careful with this stuff. Right, okay. Brotherhood 1000. Okay, this more modern piece of artwork, but I love the Black Legion in this. Big love of the black. I'm not a big fan of like the digital artwork, how it kind of like bleeds out around the edges, how it's so indistinct. Okay, let's have a look at some of these. Okay, Apothecarian, the Forge. We got this lovely piece of artwork, I think from 10th edition. Dispersed in the Primaris, so it talks about what happens after the Citrix Maledictum. Okay, Dark Angels, Guy Haley. Yes, now we're talking. Yes. This is the kind of artwork that got me into the... What is the first piece of artwork that got you into Games Workshop? Can you remember that far back or that early? What was that image, that media? What was that thing that you saw and just... that chime, that bell inside your balls just went off? I remember exactly which one. Okay, this must be one of the specially commissioned piece of artwork. Yeah, it's not bad. Look at, sorry, I gotta move. I gotta move something that should not be on screen right now. Oh, but I don't want to damage it by doing it. Oh God. Okay, I'm just going to slide it across. And we're all going to pretend that we didn't see anything, okay? We're all going to pretend there's nothing there. Yeah. What was the first piece of artwork that really inspired you? Know exactly which one it was for me. So the first piece of artwork that brought me into the hobby to begin with was an open-close sign on the outside of Games Workshop store, Games Workshop Cardiff. It's a really nice book. I like the layout of it. I have to go into the... Okay, that's one of the specialty pieces, I think. I have to go into the... I don't like the foot. The foot looks very AI generated. Cloak, like there's not much definition there. There's an open-close sign on the outside of Games Workshop Cardiff. It was a Imperator Titan from the Titan Legions game, that piece of artwork. Then when I got inside that Games Workshop, I saw the second edition Warhammer 40,000. That was it. That was me done for. That was my brain cooked. That was just sensory overload. That was something that was way too much for a young me to handle. Yeah, that's it. Brutal. White Scars. You know, so I'm part of a podcast called the Age of Darkness podcast, and we've been reviewing all of the Horus Heresy books, and we've finally collated them, we've talked about them, and we've asked ourselves and the community to rank them one for being a really bad book, 10 being the best book ever. One of my co-hosts, Mark, you fucker, he marked down both White Scar books. Do you want to guess why? Couldn't remember them. He couldn't remember them, and he just doesn't like the White Scars. Oh, that's gorgeous. Son of a bitch, they're some of the best books in the series. Huron. Oh, God, War for Chagoras. I had no idea Huron was there. Ooh, what was he up to? The White Scars retain their links to successors. Yeah, that's... Oh, okay, that's interesting. Here's the chapter. Korozo Khan, Master of the Hunt, not on bike. Who else do we have? Sagari, Chief Stormsayer. Okay, this is nice. I mean, it feels like they're setting up a lot of like in-world lore, maybe to make miniatures of, or going forward with things like the TV series. It feels like books like this are maybe even for writers or people working within the IP just to line up all the ducks, so to speak. That is badass. Oh my God, that's awesome. I like that. I like the style of that. That depicts Jagatai Khan going after a Dark Eldar. He disappears into the webway somewhere. How big is that horse? Massive. Final thoughts. I think he could have come up with something a little bit more dramatic than fine. Oh, okay. Space Wolves, Guy Haley. Okay, this entire. Oh my God, this is good. Yep, this is worth buying just for this. I'm working on a Space Wolf project at the moment. I'm trying to get that perfect space. This is it. Perfect Space Wolf Grey, and I'm doing Bran Redmore's company as well. This is it. This is the one. Okay, I'm gonna sleep with this underneath my pillow tonight to absorb the knowledge. Okay, phenomenal. Okay, I'm gonna quick. Ooh, it's hyper detailed. Logan Grimnar, like that. Any other chapters you guys want to see in here before I just quickly flick through all this? Imperial Fists. If there's any way you want me to stop, please let me know, because otherwise I'm going to get through to the six. Oh, that's bad. That's a piece of art. I'm going to get through to the successor chapters. So that's the main reason why. Oh, Blood Angels. He looks like an actor. I'm not sure which actor. Yeah, iconic artwork. Death Company, iconic. I like the alien nature of those faces. Like they're so abstracted. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I want to get... I mean, the whole reason why I bought this, or the main reason why I bought this was for... Oh, look! Sanguinary God with Wings. That's not canon. Yeah, the reason I bought this book is to see the successor chapters. And hopefully... God, wouldn't it be something if the Warhawks were in here? This is the Warhawk scheme. Oh, yes, manly. Butch. Look at him. He's getting stuff drilled into him. He's got like a... It's going through his cheek. Check this out. That pain thing's going through his cheek. Yes. That's what I'm into. Ultramarines. Yeah, looks ultramarine-y. Well done. Oh, he's Calgar on his throne. Shit, they've redone the art. Yeah, I like that. All right. Looks like David Beckham. What? Oh, Cassius, yes. The old man. Cassius remembers Calgar when he was a young pup. Salamanders, Raven Guard. Oh, what the hell? We're the successors! Well, it's first founding. Okay. Perhaps if another book comes out with second founding. Doesn't it say on the back, on the blurb? Art background explores these iconic loyalist first founding chapters in depth. I'm just reading into something that just simply wasn't there. Okay, so that was a little review of the book. That's me blundering through a FELLBLADE. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, and whatever this was. Thank you so much. Right, I'm going to leave it there for tonight. I'm going to get on to my final teaching session in the evening, and I'll catch you next week. Bye-bye. Yes, end.